Hello, lock cultist, lock sporters, lock stars. This is going to be a brief introduction into magnetic mayhem. This probably going to be a little bit longer video than what I want, but first off, let me go ahead and zoom in on this. Now, it's quite possible to actually shape your magnets, but as you see, it's hard because it's will shatter, it will chip, it will break, and it will even break inside of a challenge lock. So I really, even though it looks cool, don't get me wrong, I really don't recommend it. I try to keep it at its usual shape. It also has a coating. Depending on the lock, sometimes the coating might make it a little too thick, even though you have 3mm. Some locks may have a 2.91 versus a 3mm or 2.98 diameter chamber. So keep that in mind. There's different types of magnet sizes as well as polarities. This is your typical north and south. Over here on the other side is your east and west. Now with these here, the polarity, I'll show you this a little bit different. These are perfect for, if I can get, these are strong. See, they're not really, well, they will kind of stick like that. So yeah, but pretty much, it's even with your north and south, regardless if you've got them where they'll attract or they push away, but they get to that center line where the magnetic flux is. That's exactly how they'll do. So, making a driver, key pin. Actually, we're going to make a key pin, so I'm just going to go through the process with this one right here. And while I'm at it, see which one it's attracted to. That's this side right here, which is perfect. So I'm going to zoom this out, and what I'm going to do is just standard like I would normally do with a regular key pin. As if this were rod or stainless steel rod or brass rod. Get it all chucked up here in the Dremel. Get enough sticking out. This was cut earlier, probably about a week or two ago, something like that. Anyways, I'm going to try to smooth this out real quick, so bear with me on this. It's going to get loud because I'm about to cut on the Dremel. And before I get started, because I sped it up, it's going to create more heat. Will have effect on the magnetic flux, but for just time constraints, I'm not really worried about it. Now, for those who wonder about magnetic dust, you don't really have to worry about magnetic dust because it sticks to your file. It also sticks to the end of the magnet, as you see right here on my finger. So as it's on, you just simply wipe it off and wipe it off your file. There you go. So as far as messing with magnets, you don't have to worry about breathing in magnetic dust. If you're paranoid like that, get you one of those medical masks and go that way. Now, I've got this pretty much about as good as I really kind of need it at this point. I am now going to put my tip on the magnet about that angle. It's kind of rounded out, so this is going to be part of a key pin just for video purposes. Drivers, I'll explain that here in a moment. Bear with me. Alright, let me kind of situate some stuff and zoom in a little bit with this lens, and maybe you'll be able to see a little bit better of the tip. A little bit, get this up a little bit. It's going to sit right there. So now I'm going to take the excess dust off of here and see how our tip is looking. And it looks good enough, at least for the video. It's not perfect. It's still, there's a little bit chipped right there from where I was trying to cut. And this is from the leftover part, so I just try my best with it. Actually, it's not that bad. That's actually more or less magnetic dust still on that. So like I said, you really don't breathe it in. Okay, now get this out of the way. Go back to this. Baby vice grips right here. I give my chuck a little extra bite down on this, keep the pin from slinging out or getting sucked up in there. It's always good to have you another magnet. So when you loosen it up, it pulls right on out just like that. Now, this right here out of the way. We're going to use this KWS5 core little plug right here. We're just going to set it, let's see. We'll set it right here in chamber 5 and try not to get it to where it sticks to that. Alright. The reason why I'm using this goes to say right here, I'm not actually going to cut this, but oops, let me zoom this out so you can see a little bit better. There we go. No, not yet. Right there. Alright. Wrong way. Alright. Now, when you put the key in, let's say right here, you got enough sticking up. So what you want to do is take your Sharpie, go around the whole thing. Try to get the thing to turn. A little bit of magnet. Come on, magic. Come on, give it to me. No, no. All right, we'll just turn this a little bit more. This is just for learning purposes, just to show you. All right, that seems to be kind of good enough. We'll get the back end. Perfect, there is your little mark there. And what we want to do is chuck up to where some of this Sharpie mark is actually inside the chuck. So when you do cut this, you've got a little bit, so if it chips on the outer end, that you can actually take your file and let's see, I'm gonna get it kind of set up if I can get it just right. And we go a little bit down below. That's the fun with magnets, the mayhem of it. All right, here we go. A little down, a little bit more. Get it tight. And I'm going to move this magnet out of the way back over here. And we're going to zoom in a little bit so you can see what's kind of going on with that. And you know what, let's bring this down too. And get it situated right there. So basically is what I'm going to do is I'll wind up cutting that little nub off, which will leave me enough of the marking from the Sharpie below the bit. They really don't take too much to actually cut that off. You know, about a little bit right there. So that's about basically where you'll want it to be at. so that you'll have enough to where if it does chip, you could pretty much get it about as smooth as that up top as possible. Now, as a driver, what I normally like to do, different ways. You can have opposite poles where they'll attract, or if skipping chambers in between, you can have it same polarity where it pushes away. So basically, your key pin, if it's got a pin-in-pin driver, will be pushed down, and if it is a, well, like here we go. I'll show you this right here. Oh, that just came apart. Oh, was that what it, oh, I know what this is. That's not what I had earlier. Anyway, this is a key pin, two-part key pin. Let me break out these. What did I do with them? There we go. The tweezers from Covert Instruments. Excellent. I highly recommend these because they really grip that pen. And bear with it by not focusing because it's got all the stuff in the background. So we're going to try to see what we can do to make that focus. Okay, we're going to use this pen here. Of course, when you get close to it, it's going to pull up. As the key pin drops down, it gets pulled up into the shear line, and you got something blocking the shear line. If this is set this right here. All right. See if that's, yeah, it tracks to that side right there. So they're going to be pulled towards each other. All right. And if you skip a chamber in between, it's a little bit better that way. If you skip two chambers, probably that may be a safer bet when you're using magnets. And see right here, they're pulling away from each other, pushing away from each other. So that means that this polarity is the same as that one. And they got that little gap in between them. And but the thing is, even if they weren't, well, I guess it's a little bit it's a little bit different with some magnets, but when they get up to a certain point, they will like pretty much be side to side in different chambers. It's just like something with the magnetic forces. But basically, if you skip a chamber, have them where they're not opposite but same polarity, and it just flipped over in midair. But anyways, same polarity. The whole idea is if you've got a key pin with a driver and a inner pin, it will pull the inner pin into the shear line, while the magnetic forces is pushed from the key pin that are the same as what's on the magnetic driver, or pushing apart each other and dragging both of those ferrous metal inner pins of the pin into the shear line. That's just this theory. I haven't really worked it out by all means. It makes sense, but as far as practicality, I haven't. This is just basically an introduction. Have fun with magnets. Learn, experiment. If you do that, please let me know what your findings are, especially if you got a nice cutaway that you could put magnetic pins, opposite polarity, same polarity, next chambers, skipping chambers, opposite of each other, up top and at the bottom. But that's pretty much all I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. My best to y'all. Enjoy having fun with magnet mayhem.